Hi everybody and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Malin Bodolla and I head up marketing here at Litium. So this webinar is one in a series that we are doing to inspire and give tips and tricks to companies about digital commerce. And today I have two experts with me from Spot On. It's Julia and Peter, and they will introduce themselves very shortly. But first, just some practicalities. I will hand over to Peter and Julia, and they will speak for about 20 minutes. And in the end of the session, we have time for some questions. So if you have questions during the webinar, please write them in the panel to the right on your screen under questions. And we will address them at the end. And also we will be recording this, and afterwards you will get the presentation and the recording. So if you miss it or if you want to share it with someone, you can easily do that. So next slide, please, Julia. So a lot of you that are here today, I think it's still on the first slide, or?
I'm seeing the second one now.
Oh, maybe.
It is the second one, so.
Okay, great. Yeah, probably wouldn't. But many of you have been listening in before, but we also have some new people in the room. So I thought, let's just do a very short description of who Litium is. And we are a tech company within digital commerce. Our product is an e-commerce platform to give speed, flexibility, and growth to our customers. And Litium's platform is like a toolbox, and these parts can be used together or by itself. And the core products are, we have a CMS that is built specifically for e-commerce. We have a product information system, a PIM, to handle all the products. And of course, a commerce product there where you can handle all the business logic, campaigns and channels, etc. And it's all built on a very modern tech stack with full flexibility. So you as a customer can build exactly what you want together with our partners. So, but today is not about us, but I'll tell you on the next slide, you can also see that we work with customers from that is pure B2B, B2C, and everything in between. So it's pure manufacturers, wholesalers, consumer brands, and also customers selling directly to consumers. But today is not about Litium, it's about you and to give you tips and tricks on to take the next step within your digital commerce. So with that, I will hand over to Julia and Peter.
Yes, great. Nice to meet you all. Hopefully you will have a good 20 minutes here with us. My name is Julia and I work with sales and marketing at Spot On. I've been working here for almost 6 years now, and I spent most of my days talking to potential clients, existing clients, about their challenges within and opportunities, of course, within digital commerce.
Yes, and my name is Peter. I have worked on Spot On for almost 6 years as well. So I started out as a product manager and business analyst, and now I'm working with developing our clients and their business. And today we will walk you through some different type of solutions which many of our customers ask us about in order to streamline their B2B sales. So, Julia.
Yes. So first of all, we wanted to talk about why we are talking about Spot On, but mentioning Excitech in our emails. For some of you who might have heard about Spot On before, you might also heard that we recently were acquired by the company Excitech. Excitech wanted to strengthen their position in e-commerce, and through the acquisition of Spot On, they gained no less than 60 new friends who worked with e-commerce and digital marketing for over 10 years. So Spot On will change name to Excitech within the near future, but we will continue to work exactly as usual with our customers and partners. But now we can also take responsibility for a much larger part of the total e-commerce business. For example, we can now also help customers with things like efficient warehousing, BI systems, and other IT-related products. So just to get a quick look at Excitech, it was founded year 2000. We are currently covering Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. The field of digital commerce or e-commerce is 60 super skilled people working here. And also Excitech has been listed on the Swedish Stock Exchange since 2020. But enough about us. Today, as Peter mentioned, we are going to talk about B2B tools for B2B companies who want to invest in increasing their digital sales with different type of online sales tools. We're going to talk about client or reseller portals, whatever you choose to call it. We're going to talk about what's the actual difference from a regular e-commerce solution and a reseller portal. What are the possibilities? How can it help your clients? And how you can go from a manual to an automated workflow. We are also going to talk about Punchout solutions. For whom is such a solution suitable? What's the difference between an EDI solution and a Punchout solution? How can a Punchout solution help you personalize your client's experience? And then we're also going to talk about what we internal basically just call internal sales tool. That tool gives you the possibility to help your client with their purchase all the way from the last step to approval. It's a very suitable tool for companies with complex products. And last but not least, we're going to talk about SEO and digital marketing, because it's very important to get visitors to actually find your site and spend time there and hopefully some money. So that's also a very important tool that B2B companies tend to miss out on.
Yes, and all these things we're going to talk about is really fun, but in order to apply the ideas we talk about in today's webinar, it's good if your company already have some access to some workflows and platforms. And first out, it's of course good to have some sort of e-commerce platform. Doesn't have to be Litium, but Litium is of course a really flexible and great platform to evolve from. Secondly, it's always good to have a functioning system for handling payments. And last but not the least, a PIM system, which is a webinar on its own, and there is plenty of information about it from Litium and other PIM systems. But most important, it's really good if you have a curious and welcoming approach to change and improve your current business.
Yes, and just to get in the right mood and just to make sure that this is actually something you need or your company needs to invest in or at least have a plan for, I thought that I would bring up some numbers that hopefully make you even more confident in your decision. These numbers are from recent research from Gartner, and there's also some numbers from the Litium's B2B report that they released in May this year. So first out, B2B e-commerce market value in Europe is forecast to grow steadily over the next 3 years. So despite everything going on in the world right now with war in Ukraine, high inflation in several countries, high energy prices and more, it's still in the digital area, the majority of companies will invest and increase their business for the next couple of years. And by 2025, the B2B e-commerce market value in Europe is estimated to reach over 1.8 trillion US dollars. And I know we have some Norwegian and Danish people listening here, but at least in Sweden, that's a lot of Swedish money if you translate it. This is in Europe, which means that a lot of companies also have a market outside of their native country. And third point, B2B companies in Scandinavia expect their online sales to increase over the next 3 years. We see that these numbers also apply within here in Scandinavia, and that there is a belief that the digital sales will continue to increase even among Scandinavian companies. And last but not least, e-commerce has now surpassed in-person as the single most effective sales channel. The way we seek information today has changed. You all heard about that before, and it's changed even more after COVID, when people actually almost crave that they can find all information online. This is also something that happens in more traditional sectors. More and more companies realize that they need to meet their customers in other areas and not only via a salesperson. So that's why we wanted to introduce these four type of tips for you, where you can get to meet your customers online in a better way. So Peter, let's start.
Yeah, that's a lot of opportunities out there, and let's dig into the possibilities you have to meet these opportunities. And we start with a tool that we call a reseller portal. So a reseller portal is the next step from just having an ordinary website with some product information. You could say that a reseller or client portal is an e-commerce light solution. It won't give the possibilities to your retail or to retail customers to shop, but instead usually your customers log in and identify themselves in order to see their customer specific prices and products. This is your online digital sales star that never sleeps, takes vacation, or catches the flu. It's always there. So the portal, together with a good PIM structure, will help your clients and you to easily find information about things such as what was my last order and how can I place the same order again, and also give the access to the invoice of the orders. What is the delivery status of my order? What is the stock status and delivery times that I as a customer can expect, and it's updated in real time. So it gives easily access to spare parts combined with the products I just bought or are about to order. It can give detailed images, drawings, CAD files targeting the professionals that you have in your customer segment. And some of the most common questions your in-house support often have to answer are: what is my agreed price on this product? What is the stock status on X? I want to order product Y. So with a great reseller portal, your sales representatives will have the time to be a business developer instead of just handling these questions and act as an order recipient. And the reseller portal can, in addition, be a quick access for you to reach out to your customers with information and marketing communication directly in real time. So that's a reseller portal in short. And we will go in to talk about the next tool that we see is really important for your B2B sales. And the next tool is a Punchout solution. And a Punchout solution can be a great addition to your e-commerce solution. In short, it gives you customer direct access to your e-commerce directly from their purchasing system, which usually are their ERP. The customer is transferred directly to the e-commerce and is logged in and ready to shop. When your customer has found their products, added them to cart, they can go to the checkout, and instead of paying and completing and managing all the deliveries in the e-commerce, they just click a button and the order is transferred back to their ERP or purchasing system. From there, the customer can complete the purchase using their standard approval flows and internal processes. So you don't have to manage those. A Punchout and EDI is closely related. EDI, one can say that it's an ERP talking directly to another ERP. So your customer's ERP is talking directly to your. A Punchout is the customer ERP giving access to your e-commerce site and then talking back to the ERP. So it's a slight difference, which gives you great opportunities. And some benefits we see by running a Punchout is that it gives your vendor direct access to whatever products, prices, and product information so it gives your customers direct access to all this, and you as a vendor can show your customers this and work with it. It also gives a simple and straightforward shopping experience for your customers. They are quickly logged in and can easily browse and search your product in an intuitive way. It also gives you as a vendor the opportunities to work with all the e-commerce features that you are used to, such as personalization, campaigns, videos, and those kind of things. This can create a streamlined buying process for customers, which is usually not the case when the customer buys directly from their ERP or purchasing system. This sounds cool, right? So in order to get this to work, you need to integrate the different systems to each other. And to help us with this, there exist standards to integrate, to utilize when you build this kind of Punchout solutions. It sounds complex, but it is quite straightforward. There are a number of standards out there, Open Catalog Interface or Commerce XML, so they are available for us. And once your first Punchout solution from one of your customer to yourself is set up, it's fairly easy to add more of your customers. If you browse back in Litium's webinar history, there is a previous webinar touching only on this Punchout topic. So you can go back and look into the webinar series to find this. And with this, we move on to our third tool. It's what we call the internal sales tool. So an internal sales tool can be a great addition to your e-commerce solution. With internal sales tool, you give your sales personnel a great way to pick up leads and help the customer to complete the order. The simplest way to describe it is that your sales can log in as a customer and place order on behalf of the customers. The process of using an internal sales tool can start with the customer being maybe uncertain and in the checkout they don't know exactly how to complete the order for some reason. Then your sales personnel gets notified. They can log in and help the customer complete the order. Another use case for this is when your sales personnel meet the customer in person and digitally prepares the order using their mobile or computer or iPad, and then lets the customer approve the order when they are ready. So the benefits of using internal sales tool is to help your customer complete orders of, for example, complex products. It saves time for sales, communicating with the customer through mail and calls, and sales and the customer can then see exactly the same thing. So it eases up the communication. It can also give some additional features that your sales can work with that might not be visible for the customers. It can give your sales personnel access to changing the discount level on the fly. It can show detailed stock balances that you might not want to show to your customer. It can give the sales personnel access to see the sales margins and such in order to give a better price for your customers. So basically, it simplifies the process for a customer to buy from you. They might, in some cases, just log in and approve the already prepared order. So in short, of course, the customer will always approve the order before it is completed. So we move over to the last tool that we see. So we call it See You on the Internet. It's a really good topic. So with these three more ways of working, we have a fourth important thing, and that is we've built all this. How can we now get someone to find these and notice you? So running around with catalogs, visiting fairs, mouth-to-mouth method, and all these kind of ways of marketing yourself is one thing. But if we're going back to the first slide that we showed you about the digital trends in the B2B area, and how many of these people that actually go out to do the research online, a good SEO standard on your page is a must, even for B2B companies. So the new generations entering the job market might not be as loyal to you as a vendor as your previous customers have been. They will search online to find the best business opportunity for their needs. You need to address this. So great SEO and a mobile-friendly website is really a must today to catch the attention from these customers. On the retail market, it's now hard and often quite expensive to reach the top position and find the audience from search engines. However, in the B2B area, there are still great opportunities for you to find less expensive keywords and technical terms that are really targeted directly toward your professional customers. This can give you great leads and businesses. So this one you cannot forget. So we can.
Yeah, moving on to where will you start? What's your next step?
Yeah, we'll talk to you now about 4 important tools or areas that you need to work on. So how do you get started with this? The first thing is to identify your clients' needs. Don't be afraid to ask your clients, what could you offer? What could make the life easier for them? And do you have the right equipment in terms of technology or personnel to handle these demands? Will you have a return on your investment? So these type of questions you need to ask yourself. Secondly, invest in a partner and platform that can help you in long term. So look what the friends in your industry do. What do they use? Which partners are they talking to? Do you need a new platform? Or do you need a new partner? Or do you need both? It's always good to be transparent about your budget, since and your partner will help you guide into this, since some platforms target higher budget, while some platform target a bit less budget. So this needs to suit your ambitions. And the third part, think MVP and then think beyond. Let's start with an MVP. You don't have to get and work with all these 4 tools that we have talked about today. Let's do it as easy as possible. Digital sales is in constant transformation, so the project will never be done. You have to work with this and have a long-term plan for it. You have probably heard the MVP expression. We would like to transfer it into minimum lovable product instead.
Yeah, and can I just add to
you are allowed
about, to. Yeah, thank you. About the right equipment in terms of personnel specifically. When we meet B2B companies, they tend to think that, well, maybe the market manager or the IT manager or someone who's already having 100% topic of their list to do today just can add another 100%, because that's what e-commerce means. You need to specifically set someone to work with this all the time, because as Peter said, this project will never be done. You can't just do it with your left hand on your lunch break. It takes time, and you need to be prepared that someone has to offer that time as well. So when you're going into this, make sure that you're staffed correctly internal first.
I think that is what we had today, right, Julia?
Yes,
I think we have
that was it.
2 minutes left for questions.
Yeah, do we have any questions? There's been a lot of talk from the two of us right now. So Malin, is there any questions for us, or?
Yes, we have a couple of questions. I have one question in Swedish, so I'll translate it. But I think there is a lot of questions about going into a recession, more uncertain times, etc. I guess they want you to give some kind of an advice. Is it really the time to go into investing in digital solutions right now? It's a big question, I guess. But
yeah. Of course, it's uncertain times right now, and things change from one day to another. But well, according to this Gartner and your own report, I don't think you have the time or economy not to go digital today. There won't be more manual labor or work. It will be more automated work. It will be more digitalized. You will see borders coming closer from countries and so on. So I think that if you're going to invest your money in something, then digital is probably the right way to do it. Then you might not, it's even more important to choose the right platform and the right partner. Make sure that your decision not only goes for 1 year, that it's a longer run. Make sure that you know what you invest in. Yeah, do your homework before. See how much you can calculate on return of invest and stuff like that. But I'm not seeing doing nothing at all as the correct answer, actually. I think you need to do something.
Very good. And also, I mean, to just start to invest and take a meeting doesn't, that's where to start, and really to see where you want to, and then start small, start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question is about the budget. How much is it to actually build or set up a reseller portal?
Should I answer that as well, Peter?
Yeah, go ahead, Julia.
Go ahead. Yeah, it would be great if I could mention any numbers right here, but I mean, that's it. Of course, it depends on your what you're aiming for, I guess. Yeah, ambitions. But as you said, Malin, it depends on what type of platform you have today, how far you've come, or if you're starting from scratch. But we can probably give you a pretty good like ballpark figure if you give us some information in a meeting, and if you want to come really close to something, then maybe 2 or 3 meetings or something like that. We need to understand what you're aiming for and set the right standards, and also that you, as we also said, it's always good to be transparent with your budget, because then if your budget is super slim and small, then we might not want to go for a Ferrari. We want to go for something, I won't mention any other company names, but we might want to go for something that's more easy to come up with or quicker to start, basically. But we can give you numbers, but we might want to have a meeting first so we get to know all the questions behind.
Yeah, very good. And then just a short question about, I'm really happy to get this question, but when is the next Litium B2B report coming? I'm saying in May 2023, so then the numbers will be updated on that one as well. Thank you for that question. And then another question about delivery. It's a quite long question, so follow me. Should the portal platform be integrated to large transport administration systems, and which ones? What if the customer only use one carrier, for example, PostNord? Should it be integrated directly to that carrier system? There is a big difference in cost going with one carrier instead of several into a TA system.
Yeah, I can elaborate on it. I can of course not say one way or another is the best. So there is usually add-ons to connect to the TA systems. There are a number of them available, and I think of course it's depending on your needs. If you only have one and that is the only thing you will be continuing working, you probably already has a connection set up through your ERP or through your business systems. So then you should continue to use that. But otherwise, there are add-ons. It's quite simple to connect to these TA systems today. So there you have, of course, more flexible way of handling your deliveries in the long term.
And maybe that's also a more specific, when dealing with companies only B2B, that's, now maybe I'm out guessing here, but that's maybe an easier question than if you want to sell through direct to consumer, basically, where you want to get your package delivered outside your door or through a box or something like that as well.
Okay, we have some more questions, so let's see how many of these we can. But here is also maybe a difficult question to answer, but do you have any estimates of the percentage of increased sales this is typically will bring a B2B when going into e-commerce?
Wow. We could probably talk about cases and clients we work with today, but I'm not sure they're too happy if we're mentioning numbers. But we have recently, recent companies that we worked with that didn't have any type of e-commerce solutions before. Maybe they had a PIM system or something like that, but all the purchases were made by emails or phones, or even in some cases via a fax. But since they started, they managed to be. It's always hard to measure the effectiveness in the manual work versus automated internal work, but at least they are happy with the results, and they're seeing an increase every month. So
we have some clients who has started in this area. They had a 50% increase of their total income, and where all of it was on the B2B on the B2B sales, so to say, on the e-commerce platform. So there is definitely opportunities in this.
Yeah, but I guess it depends on the case as well, and
definitely,
it's very different.
Of course.
Yes.
You should not see it as a. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but time is out, so we need to finish. But thank you so much for the questions. And for those of you, I think we have one more question, but it's a bit specific, so let's reach out directly instead with that question.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Did you say something, Peter?
No, just reach out to us directly. I was just gonna say.
And you will get an email with the contact details, both to Julia, to Peter, and to Litium, and also the recording and the presentation and everything. And don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you. So reach out and with your questions. But thank you so much. And thank you, Julia and Peter, for the presentation today. See you soon again, and have a good day.
Great. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.